Buying miniatures is so expensive, especially if you live in a city where there isn't a dollhouse store. So that means you have to order almost everything online, and shipping is expensive. I'm going to show you how I created some dollhouse carpets for free. First of all, I'm going to show you a bunch of carpets. So this carpet here, my daughter actually printed. I think it's Avery is the company that makes it. It's a cotton sheet of cotton that's got paper on the back of it, and you can run it through your DeskJet printer. And she made me this lovely carpet. But that Avery fabric paper is quite expensive. And then this is actually a real dollhouse carpet that I paid a fair amount for and bought online. I really like it. It matches the color of the room that I intend it for. And once again, this is another store-bought miniature carpet. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. I think I bought that at the miniature garage sale. But it gets expensive. And you can see here I've got a carpet in there and a carpet in there. Excuse the mess of this dollhouse. But I mean, in order to do a nice miniature scene, you need them. This is my first and probably last hurrah at doing punch needle. The fabric I used was super thin, and I ended up with like a lot of holes in it, so I ended up having to line the back of it. I made that pattern out of my head, and I'm actually not too displeased with this carpet, but if I'm ever to try it again, I definitely need to use a different fabric. So that's my first and only go at punch needle. I have also used that canvas and made some little carpets myself by doing some needlepoint, and this is again a carpet that the design idea just came out of my head. I actually used the supplies that I got at a charity store in order to make this little mat. So it's intended to be a mat in one of my miniature kitchens, so I'm not unpleased. Now these carpets here were absolutely free, and I'll tell you how I did it. So every single city and town has upholstery stores. So these are businesses that reupholster furniture. And when they're finished reupholstering furniture, they have scraps. So I just went to the local upholstery store and I said, hey, I do doll houses, and if you have any extra fabric, I'd love to be able to grab it. And I told him the dimensions, like just a little 4-inch by 7-inch piece would be more than enough for me. And sure enough, he collected some for me. So what I did is I cut them to the dimension I wanted. Then I sewed all the way around the edge. First of all, I frayed the edges, and I sewed all the way around the edge. And all of these carpets were absolutely 100% free. So what a good score. So, I mean, dollhouse carpets, if you look them up online, they can be as much as like $30 or $40 for the really nice ones. And I don't think that these look that bad. So, and once again, free is good. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a whole heck of a lot of expendable income that I can just spend on minis. I would love to have that extra income to spend on minis, but I'm really super proud of myself when I'm able to create something out of nothing. And you know, this fabric would have gone in the garbage, so it's upcycling for sure. So, and I think they turned out really nice. So I don't have rooms in mind for them. This is another idea that I had. This is just some ribbon that I got, and again, I got it at a charity shop. It was in a bag with some lace, and I just shredded the edges of it, and voila, cheap. Cheap, free. And then at the same upholstery place, he gave me a book of upholstery fabric that's been discontinued. This stuff is a little bit tough to work with because it's kind of got a rubberized back on it, but I can get around that. So, and then here's some fabric that he gave me. So basically he gave me little scraps that are too small for him to make a sofa cushion or a throw cushion or anything out of. So just that little tiny square, and that's more than enough to make even a large size rug. And then I just love this fabric. I think it's just beautiful. I've actually already made a couple of carpets out of it. And once again, it was free. So I'll just kind of show you what I did. So I'm just using this little sample, and these 3 pieces were sewn together, and then they had to use pinking shears to cut around the whole entire exterior. So I'm first of all just kind of cutting them apart so that they become 3 separate pieces. And of course I'm not going to be able to use that one piece that's got the X on it that's marked with a pen, because I don't think I'd be able to get that off of the fabric. So these scissors aren't my sharpest scissors, of course. So I'll pull out some better ones in a little bit. So so basically I'm just kind of cutting off the part that had some stitching that stitched all 3 of them together in the sample book. And as soon as I'm finished doing that, then what I'm going to do is just kind of cut the carpet up and make it into a nice rectangular shape. But I guess you could make a carpet any shape. I usually, generally speaking, like to do them in triangles. And because it's got the pinking all the way around the edge, I'm just going to actually trim it all the way around. Okay, now I've got it trimmed to a nice little rectangle shape. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the scissors, and I'm going to kind of, well actually I got a pair of tweezers for this, and I'm just going to kind of pull the threads back, and I'm going to make the edge of the carpet this way. So this particular fabric is not pleasant to work with because, as I say, it's got the rubberized back. Then I'm going to have to flip over and cut that off. But I'm still able to get a fringe on the edge of each side. So yeah, you can see here it's some fabrics are easier to do than others. The ones that feel like they're 100% cotton, or ones that have like the silk, seem to shred a little bit better than this particular one. This one I really got to pull it. But actually, you know, it looks horrible right now, but in the end it actually turns out really super cool. So so you can see I'm having a bit of a difficult time with it, but yeah, it's gonna turn out just fine. So here I am just trimming the rubberized part of it off of the back. So and as you can see, it's got a nice fringe, so as soon as I get rid of this rubberized part, it'll look really good. This one probably wasn't the best example to start with, but hey, I might as well show you what a challenging one is like to work with. So, and then afterwards, after I've got the fringe on it, I'm just taking my fine scissors and kind of trimming the edges just to square it off and make it look really nice. So I'm actually quite pleased with this little carpet, and I think like that would be perfect in front of a little fireplace or in front of a kitchen sink. It's just perfect as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of a pain to work with that fabric. Now here, this one here is a little bit nicer to work with, and doesn't that like really look kind of like a Victorian carpet anyways? So I really like this particular piece of carpet, or fabric. See, it's already a carpet in my mind. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking the scissors first of all, just to square it off and make it into a correct rectangle, because of course I cut it a little bit jagged, but no problem. So yeah, I think that that's gonna look really nice. So once again, I've been fraying the edges and yeah, just kind of using the scissors just to get a little bit of fabric out and then just pulling it and making a good fringe. I mean, if you don't want to do the fringe this way, you could also use another fabric or a ribbon to do the edge, but I kind of like the fringe. I think that looks like really good, and using the fabric that's there. Again, free is better. I didn't want to go and run out and buy any fringe material. I just wanted to do it for free. So there's my little carpet, not too shabby, and you can see the one on the right as well. So you can take the sewing machine like I showed you earlier and sew all the way around it, or you can use the fabric fusion or fabric glue and actually just glue along the edge of it. So I mean, it's entirely up to you. I prefer to do it on the sewing machine, but hey, you can do it any way you like. So so these once again are all the ones that I've done with the fabric that was given to me by the fella that owns the upholstery shop. So I think I've made out like a bandit, because like, look at how many free rugs I've done. So, and I mean, it's nice to be able to do things that are thrifty. I mean, absolutely. And you know, once you have these things in a miniature scene, they look just as nice, I'm sure, as the uber expensive ones that most of us can't afford. So yeah, so I'm really quite pleased with this, and I hope this is something that you guys will consider trying. I mean, there's nothing better than free. So yeah, I'm really quite pleased with the way these look. And he says he's got some more fabric for me, so I'm gonna have to go grab some more this week. Well, thank you very much for watching tonight's video. Apologize, I got a bit of a cold here. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that like button and tell your friends about my channel. And once again, have the best day ever.